Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. It's interesting. I got this article, it's a couple weeks old, but I had this article sent to me by several followers of StocksToTrade Advisory. As always, click the link below, StocksToTrade Advisory, aka Pre-Market Prep. I'm live every single morning. And, in pre-market prep, it's really rapid fire. Basically, we go over the plans of the biggest movers of the day. It's kind of that way to get started, those big pre-market movers, what's good entries, exits, etc. And then I also sprinkle in a little bit of market commentary as well. And, that's what this article is about. Now, keep in mind, Market 411 will be coming back. So I'm going to bring back that end of the day commentary show where we really get into the bigger picture stuff. So again, ironically enough, I'm not saying I got it from 100 people. I think 3 different people asked me about this article, market crash, etc. So I thought I would address that today. So that being said, I'm lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. And as always, we try and give you every different approaches, plans, every way to approach the markets. And this is an interesting article because big fan of Kiyosaki. You might know him. He's the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, and really do respect him a lot. I've actually never met him, almost met him. I presented at a conference that he was presenting at as well, but something ended up with his travel, and he ended up doing it by Zoom. So I was all excited to meet him. But anyway, did get to watch his presentation and really respect his kind of long mindset. And again, big fan of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books. So that being said, let's talk about the 10 best tweets by Kiyosaki this year. And then I'm going to go over them and why I agree or disagree. I agree with most of them, but there's a lot I can tend to disagree as well. So right at the bat, number 1, words of wisdom. Your profits are made when you buy, not when you sell. Price of Bitcoin is crashing. Great news. I bought Bitcoin at 6,000, 9,000. I'll buy more when and if Bitcoin tests 20,000, which it's doing right now. Bitcoin just broke below 20,000. The time to get richer is coming. Silver, best bargain today. Silver still 50% below high. So what he's saying is these long-term assets. Now understand, I'm a penny stock guy. Okay, I mostly focus on penny stocks. Now, I do have some long-term holdings of Bitcoin and real estate. I don't have any silver, but this article's got me thinking about maybe stockpiling some silver as well. But keep in mind, you'll hear me say when it comes to penny stocks, I'm like, man, not dip buys. We mostly trade these things as short squeezes. These penny stocks are never swing trades. By no means are they ever long-term holds. But the thing that's different about Bitcoin and a lot of the real estate, a lot of these higher quality assets. Listen, I love penny stocks. I freaking love penny stocks, but they're day trades, okay? You're day trading emotion, mania, etc. So his point here is buying those dips and these incredible assets. Like, again, I think Bitcoin is. It's not that when you sell, okay, it's when you get a good entry, when you well time your entries, when you're that classic Warren Buffett quote, buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy, okay? When there's blood in the streets. And we're seeing that right now on Bitcoin, back below 20,000, kind of starting to base right now. I think we still have another big washout coming. I've actually gotten an alert at 17,500. That's kind of that next key level that I think could get interesting on Bitcoin if it does break below that. So anyway, keep an eye on that level. That's kind of where I'm looking at right now, down right in this area, basically that peak from back in December 17th. So anyway, think about your entries. And again, remember that quote by Warren. Now, again, this does not apply to penny stock. This applies to real estate, gold, Bitcoin, silver, etc. World War III. Just bought 2,500 U.S. silver eagles in 5 green boxes. Why silver? Gold's already moving up. Bitcoin still too high. Silver 50% below all-time high. Silver is an industrial metal as well as money. I buy silver because it's liquid and can be spent without government tracking. Interesting point. I did not realize that until I looked into it. But yeah, the nice thing about with silver, you're kind of flying under the radar and everyone thinks of gold, gold, gold. But that's the problem. When everybody's fearful, people start rotating into gold. So it becomes a crowded trade. What I like about this idea, and again, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm going to consider this because I like the idea that silver is, again, a much more liquid market and it's not as crowded as gold is. Number 3, do you have a plan B? We are in the biggest bubble in world history. Bubbles in stocks, real estate, commodities, and oils, possible depression with hyperinflation. My plan B, be an entrepreneur. Stay out of the stock market. Create your own assets and use debt as money. Save gold, silver, Bitcoin, and guns. Okay. I actually disagree with a couple points. Okay. I don't think we're in the biggest bubble in the world, in world history. I do not. I don't think we're there yet. I think it's coming. But I mean, to me, I look at the chart of a lot of these assets, the S&P 500, et cetera, since the housing crash, going back 2007, 2008. And we've really, in my opinion, we have yet to go parabolic in the S&P, in Bitcoin. I think it's coming, but not yet. In oil, I mean, listen, when you talk about bubbles, I think we're just getting started with oil. And this one always seems to get me yelled at. $100 a barrel oil, I think you're going to look back at $100 a barrel oil and $5 gasoline and be like, oh, weren't those the good old days? So I think we've got a lot of commodities, grains. Okay, we got a big, scary road ahead of us, and I don't think we're in the bubble yet. Now, the thing I totally agree with, my plan B, be an entrepreneur. Listen, if you followed me, I tell you, treat the stock market as, whether you want to call it a side hustle or an income stream, etc. But the stock market is a quiver in your or a quiver, an arrow in your quiver. Okay, it should be you should have this skill. You should know how to trade. But man, if it's all you do, it can get scary. So diversify. Okay. Work. I mean, that's one of the great things about the post-2020 world. You can work from home. I still remember an article back during the lockdown. I mean, this guy was working remotely for Google and Facebook, full-time jobs, and he still got all his work done at Facebook and Google in 20 hours. 20 hours a week. He's getting paid for he's getting paid for 80 hours a week, okay? Listen, I'm guessing he was very productive, very good at what he does, but man, talk about living high on the hog. So, look for those side hustles. Man, writing is huge. Creating videos. I mean, start a YouTube channel. Work remotely. I mean, there's so many opportunities you can have in this world. I mean, everybody wants to talk about doom and gloom all the time, which a lot of this article is, but there's never been a time where you have so much opportunity from home, okay? So be an entrepreneur, 100%. Don't stay out of the stock market. Learn to day trade, okay? The great thing about day trading is you stay agile and you can pull your money in and out at any time. Number 4, Biden and the Fed want inflation to pay off trillions in debt. Best invented by stock buying products such as toilet paper, trash bag, canned goods, food. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yes. And this is another one that will frequently get me yelled at. But remember, it's reflected in policy. The current administration, the current people in charge, Congress, administration, they want inflation. It doesn't affect them, okay? I mean, listen, if you're a career politician, you've got $100 million in the bank, you don't care about inflation. You don't care if gas is $5 a gallon. You don't care if toilet paper is doubled. It does not affect you. I mean, it's a rounding on your net worth, okay? So they want inflation in order to create dependency on the government and ultimately to cool off the market to pay off that trillions of debt. I can't disagree. Now, I think it's a terrible way to do it, okay? Now, the right way to do it isn't to cool the market off with the inflation. The right way to do it would be to invest in infrastructure, invest in manufacturing, bring onshoring back, okay? We used to build everything in America. Bring that back. Oil. We were oil independent a couple years ago. Drill, baby, drill. I mean, you can do it and keep people employed and bring back the boom. It's just, it bums me out that they're taking this approach, but it's true. Anything you can stockpile. I mean, paper goods, store forever, frozen. I mean, there's plenty of stockpiling you can do. Next is blaming Putin for everything. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like, geez, Pete. Take, and this goes, remember, this isn't political. Goes for both parties. There is a culture in the current political methodology, I guess you would say, of blaming everybody else. Blame, 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 blame. They should check out Jocko Willink. They should get extreme ownership. Take ownership. Quit blaming everyone else, okay? Own the problem and change it. And you can do that. But again, it is what it is. But he goes back to buying gold, silver, Bitcoin. 100% agree. Solana, probably not. But biggest bubble bust coming, 10 trillion in fake money, hyperinflation. I mean, listen, we're in the middle of hyperinflation. If the boomers start pulling money out of the stock market, it's going to get worse. You know, again, he goes back to the same thing. Buy silver. What's the risky investment in a global meltdown? Stocks or bonds? Bonds. I don't trade bonds. I will take his word for it. But I do love the quote, a college degree is not a cure for stupidity. I'm pretty sure every single congressperson has an advanced college degree. 456 of the dumbest people in the country. That being said, everything bubble turning, everything bust. Could this be the start of the biggest depression ever? I am concerned. World of debt and war led by leaders. Great news is Twitter may accept Elon's offer. Freedom of speech and truth in media's road back to honest and global prosperity. And man, if there's anything I agree with more, this is it. You don't fix problems by censoring them, burying them, ignoring them, okay? Sunshine is the best disinfectant, and that is free speech. And again, I'm recording this video going into the 4th of July, going into Independence Day. What has made America the greatest producer, the greatest country in the history of the world, and I stand by that. You can argue if you want. First Amendment, backed closely by the Second Amendment, okay? The Constitution is why we used to build everything, but why everything is invented here, why production is here. Listen, Elon came to America because he knew that's where he could make his dreams come true. So yes, hopefully the deal happens. Free speech is the way to go. There's no downside to free speech. And people will say there is, but I don't believe there is. I'm looking for that's funny. Test the bottom around 17,000. I'm just reading this as I go. Given my commentary, I'm looking at 17.5. Hey, love it. Kiyosaki and I agree. Rich Dad said, bull markets make stupid investors look smart. We saw that in 2020. We know that. Bear markets turn the stupid investors into losers and smart investors into winners. Markets are crashing. Time for smart investors to become very rich winners. Take care. My friends, good entries, good exits, using charts, technical analysis, studying your butt off, doing all the work, you can be a smart investor. I think the best way to do it is to join the Steady Trade team. You can click that link below. I've done over 3,500 webinars breaking down cryptos and penny stocks and real stocks and futures, every options, all of this stuff we go over in the Steady Trade team. Check it out. Get prepared. Again, I'm very bullish long-term. Okay. In summary, very bullish America long-term, very bullish the world long-term. Short-term, Kiyosaki's probably got a lot of points. But if you can learn to trade volatility, you can really, really, really offset the inflation and the prices of oil and all of these things. Stock market's an amazing thing, man. Learn it and take advantage of it. We'll see you next time.